Hello everybody, Tyrone the God 3 here, and yes, I know, I'm late again, 3 weeks late. It's actually funny, one of my subscribers, or one of you guys in the comment section, actually did make a comment joke about saying, hey, see you again in another 3 weeks, and it actually did come to fruition. Well, to be honest, it's because these are, like, November and December are two holiday-heavy months, so it's hard to really get around to recording around these times because, you know, just recording time gets a little crazy. Plus, I do a lot of stuff with KG and the others. I do PokePod sessions with him, plus the online streaming of Pokemon Sun, Ultra Sun, I'm sorry. So, yeah, all of that stuff got in the way, and to be quite honest, I haven't really been up to snuff with trying to review Dragon Ball Super. Like, I've been watching the episodes and keeping up with everything, but I haven't been really just into Super recently. Like, yeah, you all know that I have negative feelings towards Super for the most part, but this isn't even just negative feeling anymore. This is just fatigue, not just because of the series itself, but I think it's just because of the saga, like the Tournament of Power. It's just dragging. Like, it just feels like it's happening now. I'm already not invested. I haven't been invested since Goku went Ultra Instinct and fought Jiren. And then I lost a lot of interest during Goku and Kefla's fight all the way up until Goku beat her with the Kamehameha. And even that wasn't that great. After, like, it was a cool moment, but after that, it's just like, okay, well, that's over. It was like chewing gum. It's flavorful at first, now it's just sort of stale. And then all 3 episodes that followed after 117 have just been sort of a snooze fest for me. And I've had problems with each and every one of them. So, today we're doing the review of 3 episodes. Those episodes being 118, Accelerated Tragedy, Vanishing Universes. Episode 119, Unavoidable, The Fierce Stealth Attack, and Episode 20, The Perfect Survival Tactic, Universe 3's Menacing Assassin. And, yeah, all 3 of these episodes I have some form of a problem with. Like, all of them have some issue with them that just sort of rubs me the wrong way. And I guess it's safe to get started with, obviously, Episode 118, since that one comes first. Accelerate Tragedy, I can't even talk right now, Vanishing Universes. Accelerated Tragedy, Vanishing Universes, basically this one is just, they all fight off against Zerleon, Zerboto, and Rabrana, or whatever. Just the last few Universe 3 characters, and honestly, I'm really upset with this. These 3 characters end up using Ribrianne, and the other 2, they end up using their powers. And that just bothers me. Like, that bothers the hell out of me. That the last 3 fighters of Universe 3 don't even have personalities of their own for real. They just have to go ahead and borrow powers from the Universe 3's top fighters. And the reason that bothers me so much is because it's like, well, what was even the point of having those 3 characters if you're just going to have 3 other characters copy their exact same abilities? It's like, we just got done seeing all 3 of those warriors get defeated. Why would you have them copy those other fighters' abilities again? So it's basically like Goku and the others have to fight the same 3 opponents they fought once before. It's just they're dudes now. And yeah, I know Ribrianne and the rest of them actually give them all the spirit so that they can transform. Like, hey, if we give them all our love, they can transform into it. But it's still pretty stupid, just considering that the last 3 Universe 3 fighters are just copies of 3 Universe 3 fighters that they already fought before. It's just annoying. Like, those characters, I guess, were just so boring. There was no point in giving them their own abilities and fighting styles and things. That would have taken actual work and effort, so they just went ahead and just had them play copycat. You know, the fighters that Goku was able to fight on base form while super exhausted, he's able to just, you know, easily fight off against. Now he's got to face Ribrianne's crew again, only just their dudes now, and it was annoying. So after that, they use this giant pretty black hole, and then Gohan and Piccolo fight the last 2 Universe 6 fighters, which are 2 Namekians. And the Namekians' gimmick is something I thought was pretty cool. They absorbed like a bunch of Namekians in order to get their strength, which is a really cool, which makes their body kind of unstable though, because there's so many personalities and minds happening at once. And we got to see a little bit of Piccolo dealing with Nail and Kami just for a second. But he doesn't talk to him, and Dragon Ball Super is afraid of deep development, so we don't get much of it at all. It's like, this is a really interesting concept that hasn't been used in years, and we're not going to touch over it at all because that would actually take effort. So, anyway, and then Gohan ends up working with Piccolo, and they do this thing where, like, Gohan ends up doing a Super Kamehameha at the same time Goku does his Super Kamehameha. So Universe 3 and Universe 6 all go down simultaneously because we're supposed to get this cool visual of, oh, look, Gohan and Goku are using their strongest attacks to wipe out both universes in one epic blast. Like a father-son Kamehameha type of situation, I guess. Which is all fine, said and done. Man, it like, that... Overall, I'm going to say what my biggest problems are with all three of these episodes. But this was the biggest culprit of the problem. So after that, Universe 6 gets wiped out. And I guess we're supposed to feel sentimental for it, but it happened so fast. It is what it is, and we don't even have the chance to mourn over it. Episode 119 is unavoidable. The fierce stealth attack, which I gotta believe is probably the dumbest episode of Dragon Ball Super I ever seen. Or at least the dumbest episode I've seen in quite a long time, because this is Super. Long story short, this episode has our fighters deal with two fighters. One fighter is invisible, which, you know what, if you're going to bring an invisible fighter into the Tournament of Power, that's fine. But I kind of wish the fighter actually had a form, like a form we could have seen once they found out that he was invisible. So, but it mostly just felt like, hey, we don't feel like drawing anybody, so we're just going to make him invisible 100% of the time. And that was annoying. Like, that was really dumb. And the way they even found him was dumb too. I guess Gohan like blasted the ground and it kicked up dust on the opponent enough so when they move around, Piccolo can see the dust and wipe him out. But it doesn't work, like, because they wipe out the fighter and then the next fighter is invisible, but it turns out that it's just a really small bug. Which, again, I have no problem with the concept of a tiny bug that they're fighting. It's just the way that they handled it was really stupid. First of all, Piccolo got knocked out. And the reason that Piccolo got knocked out was that Piccolo forgot to he was focused so bad on sensing their energy, he wasn't focused on, like, the ground or something, or hearing him. And it's like, what? Piccolo has the best ears out of all of the fighters in Universe 7. Namekian ears are known to be better, which has been proven several times throughout the series. Why now is it that that's an issue? Like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. Turns out it's 17 who figures out the whole gimmick and ends up beating the tiny little grasshopper insect because of that. But it still bothers me because it's like, really? How did Piccolo get knocked out for that? And it wasn't a good way that Piccolo got knocked out. Like, it feels like they just brushed Piccolo off. And it feels like all through this tournament, Piccolo's just sort of been crutching off Gohan to survive in this tournament. Like, Piccolo hasn't thought of any real strategies of his own. He hasn't thought of anything too ingenious. We didn't get any real epic Piccolo moments except him using the special beam cannon on that one Namekian. But even that wasn't that great because it was overshadowed by Gohan and Goku using Kamehameha Blast. And again, rewinding back to 118, Goku turned Super Saiyan Blue after he just got done with Ultra Instinct. I thought the whole point of episode 118 would be fighters just sort of defending Goku while he has the time to rest and recover. But apparently Goku can recover in a matter of 2 minutes after he just got done wearing his body out. Twice! He's been on Ultra Instinct twice since this tournament has started. And his body has only needed like 1 minute of recovery? Are you kidding me? This is just nonsense. Like, it's really nonsense. It's like none of the fighters even get to take advantage of the fact that Goku is tired. So then anyway, after that's all said, 17 uses like a force field blast to knock the grasshopper out. And that means Universe 4 is wiped out. And that's basically it. And then we move on to episode 120. And that episode is titled The Perfect Survival Tactic, Universe 3's Menacing Assassin. Which this episode is basically them fighting off against the robots because for some reason Universe 11 isn't going to comment on the fact that Goku is injured and the rest of the fighters are just sort of available to knock out. No one is going to stand a chance against Jiren. Jiren can basically knock out all of the Universe 7 fighters if he really wanted to. I mean, nothing's stopping him. What, Vegeta? Okay. And then he could, and as far as the other universe fighters, that's not even going to be an issue either. Jiren, they've already made Jiren ridiculously powerful, and Toppo's not. Like, Toppo's behind, but he's not, like, super far behind. And Despo's faster than Hit's time skip. So, we've got 3 fighters in themselves that could just wipe out the rest of the fighters. The rest of the fighters that are happening in this tournament are just happening to be happening. But regardless, they end up fighting, it's Universe 7 versus Universe 3, I guess. And the whole gimmick is that the 3 robots fuse together, which I thought we learned our lesson here. Fusion is bad in this tournament. Because yes, while it's good for making a stronger fighter, you run the risk of losing more fighters at once because you have 3 fighters fused into 1 now. That means you lose 3 fighters automatically if this 1 fighter gets knocked out. I thought we learned something from Kaba and Khalifa, from Kale and Khalifa fusing, but I guess not. Then Gohan gets into an epic fight with this giant fused machine, and the idea is just so that Goku and Vegeta can rest and recover so that they can, gradually get better, and they'll stand most of the chance since Goku and Vegeta are ace in the holes. But turns out what ends up actually happening, Gohan fights off this thing, and then Vegeta and Goku wind up in the fight any freaking way. It's like, well, what the heck? I thought the whole point of Gohan fighting this fight was to give Gohan a chance to shine, give him some character development. Frieza could have helped him if he wanted to, I guess, because Frieza hasn't done anything. And the whole point of this was so that, Gohan can just sort of do his fight. This will be his time to shine. He do the work. And then Goku and Vegeta can show up when things get worse with the next episode that follows after. But no, and instead, Gohan is assisted with Goku and Vegeta, which basically minutes Gohan's whole importance. Everything that he was supposed to do is pushed aside now because we got Goku and Vegeta helping. And then they do this really dumb thing where Goku and Vegeta end up using a blast in order to counter the blast in the machine. And the doctor who's controlling the robot is all like hopping all in victory about this, and Gohan comes up and uses a blast on the machine as well. Honestly, I feel like this could have been like a cover, like, oh, while Goku and Vegeta are distracting the robot, Gohan can come in and attack the scientist, knock the scientist out, and then that in turn would have messed up the robot, and Goku and Vegeta could have beat the robot in Universe 5, 4, whatever this universe is. Universe 3 would have been wiped out. I mean, that would have been a perfect plan. Like, oh, wow, Gohan used Goku and Vegeta as a distraction to wipe out the scientist. That would have been some ingenious thinking. But no, they don't do that. So it's whatever. So then after that, they defeat the giant robot. Hooray. And then Gohan and the others are about to fight the scientist to knock him out. And the scientist pulls this last-minute nonsense, and we get a cliffhanger. All 3 of these episodes are pretty much the ending result of who's Universe 7 gonna fight next. As if to say all the other universes weren't good enough to even come close to competing. Look at Universe 7's remaining fighters. They have 6 fighters. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, 17, 18, and Frieza. While the other universes only have like 3 fighters left. Like the 2 other universes have Dispo, Toppo, and Jiren, which is in Universe 11. And then Universe 3 has just 1 fighter left. Universe 7's sticking out like a sore thumb right now, all because there weren't any memorable fighters or challenging fighters that were strong enough to give Universe 7 a run for their money. And this does not feel like a survival tournament. It feels like Universe 7 just fought a bunch of other universes at once. Like everybody attacked Universe 7 at once. And yes, I get it. Goku was a target of a lot of universes because he started this whole tournament in the first place. But it feels to me like this tournament in itself wasn't a big issue for Universe 7. Like you have an entire multi-universal tournament where everything can be limitless in terms of power, abilities, tactics, and strategies. And it feels like it's very limited to, only Universe 7, which I remind you, all the fighters come from one planet, Earth, which is strangely suspicious. It's just like, it feels like our fighters have way too much spotlight going on for them and way too much focus on them for them to even get knocked out or give us some cliffhangers. And all of the fighters that did get knocked out are completely predictable. All they did was just wipe out all of the fighters that Goku fought early in his journeys when the series started. Look at them all. They're all from Dragon Ball, the series Dragon Ball, before Dragon Ball Z. As if to say, ooh, Dragon Ball isn't cool enough to keep up with Dragon Ball Z's fighters. Yeah, we brought 17 and 18 back because they're so strong, or at least they were back when Dragon Ball Z was super popular. Yeah, and we brought Frieza back because Frieza's a popular villain in Dragon Ball Z. And we brought Gohan to fight again and make him a badass because that was back when Dragon Ball Z was like, it's like, come on now. Dragon Ball Z is a great series. We get it, but you don't have to piggy hop off of their popularity every time by leaving the characters out that actually came from the others past. Wouldn't it be a nice form of development of Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, or any of the other lesser characters actually lasted a bit longer than the stronger characters as a form of desperation? Oh, stronger characters got knocked out. We're only left with weaker characters. What are we going to do? We're going to need some level of desperation, strategy, tactic in order to get through this. The whole reason that Dragon Ball Z was popular in the first place was mostly because Goku was missing. So our weaker fighters actually had to figure out improvised ways in order to last against their opponents at least long enough for Goku to make his grand debut and then defeat the villain, or at least come close to defeating the villain. But no, this time we're just gonna go ahead, and if you're not a Saiyan, you're not a reoccurring villain that gave the hero so much trouble in the past, then you really don't matter. They flicked off Piccolo without giving him any real type of development in this tournament at all, especially considering that there's two other people that are the same race as him that absorbed a bunch of Namekians in order to make it this far, and it's not tackled upon. Fusion was a last resort forbidden technique that Namekians did back when things got desperate. Piccolo did it with Nail because literally their race was gone, extinct by Frieza. He did it with Kami, and they literally spent about 2.5 episodes arguing over whether they should do it or not. Here we get 1,000 bunches of Namekians fused into 2 other Namekians, and it's barely touched upon at all. No flashbacks of conflicting emotions with fusing with the rest of the Namekians. No flashbacks of a bunch of Namekians conflicting over the issues of having them all fused together into one body and trusting their universe into the lives of these 2 Namekians. None of that. We just got, hey, this happened really fast, but we're not gonna dwell on it. This entire tournament has just been one nonsense fight after another, just because it's like, oh, we need Goku to punch a couple of people, and we need Vegeta to punch a couple of people, and we want Gohan back so badly because we whined and whined and whined and whined because we wanted him so badly, and we made Goku use Ultra Instinct twice because wouldn't it be cool if he fought a fused character, one that was fused with female Broly and a female Super Saiyan with tits? This whole tournament has just been one giant headache, and these 3 episodes have been the main reason why I've been trying my best not to really even talk about them, because I'm getting stressed about it. But you know what? It's just the fact that this whole tournament spells marketing. It spells advertisement, and I don't really feel invested in this plot whatsoever. So, with that said, though, hopefully things get better. Maybe this new fighter that Goku and the others have to fight is going to be interesting. It's another giant opponent, and it looks like it's literally going to be Universe 3 versus Universe 7, while Jiren, Dispo, and Toppo just watch. That episode is 121. All Out War, the ultimate quadruple merge versus Universe 7's full-scale attack, while Toppo, Dispo, and Jiren, literally the strongest characters in this tournament, do absolutely nothing. I'll see you all then again, everybody. Tyrone, the God 3,